Welcome back, brave souls. You thought Washington's haunted secrets ended in part 1. Think again. From cursed castles to ghost-infested hotels, these next 10 locations will make your skin crawl. Turn off the lights, if you dare, and let's step into the shadows once more. 11. Old City Hall, Tacoma. High above Tacoma, the looming clock tower of Old City Hall casts a long, uneasy shadow. Built in 1893, this once proud government building now echoes with the weight of history and something far darker. Security guards have reported chilling footsteps pacing the halls long after midnight, voices whispering in locked, empty rooms, and the sound of typewriters clacking. Though none have been used in decades, the bell tower, long silent, has mysteriously rung on its own, as if calling out to those beyond the grave. Cold spots linger in sunlit rooms, and shadowy figures have been seen staring down from the upper windows, vanishing when approached. Some say the building is cursed, others claim it's simply haunted by unfinished business. But one thing's certain, Old City Hall doesn't sleep, and it doesn't forget. Chapter 12, Cadillac Hotel. Tucked away in Seattle's Pioneer Square, the Cadillac Hotel holds more than a century of secrets behind its aging brick walls. Built in 1889, it has survived fires, earthquakes, and decades of sorrow. But some say not everything inside survived. Guests and staff have spoken of a shadowy figure drifting silently through the upper floors, and cold, heavy air that seems to follow visitors through the halls. Doors slam without warning. Lights flicker, then go dark. Some claim to hear muffled cries coming from the old basement, once used to shelter the desperate and dying after the Great Seattle Fire. Paranormal investigators have picked up unexplained voices, static screams, and the chilling sound of a man gasping for air. The Cadillac Hotel may look quiet from the street, but inside, it's alive with restless spirits who refuse to be forgotten. Chapter 13, Manresa Castle Hotel. Perched on a bluff in Port Townsend, the Manresa Castle Hotel looks like a fairy tale fortress, but behind its Gothic charm lies a legend steeped in sorrow. Built in 1892, it was once a private mansion, later a Jesuit retreat, and now a hotspot for the unexplained. Room 306 is infamous. Guests report the feeling of being watched, objects moving on their own, and waking to find a shadowy figure at the foot of the bed. Legend tells of a young monk who hung himself in the attic, and a heartbroken woman who leapt to her death from a window. To this day, guests hear footsteps pacing overhead, despite no rooms above. Doors creak open by unseen hands. Whispers float through empty halls, calling out names that no longer belong to the living. At Manresa Castle, the spirits never checked out. They just changed rooms. 14. The White House. Behind the polished marble and political power of the White House lies a haunting history few dare to speak of. Built in 1800, this iconic mansion has witnessed war, death, and the weight of the nation's darkest hours. But some former residents never truly left. President Abraham Lincoln is said to roam the halls, his tall figure seen near the fireplace in the Lincoln bedroom. Winston Churchill himself claimed to have seen him. The ghost of Abigail Adams, arms full of laundry, drifts through the East Room where she once hung clothes to dry. Even staff members have heard disembodied footsteps, doors creaking open on their own, and felt icy chills rush down empty corridors. Lights flicker without cause, and the air feels heavy with unseen eyes. The White House may be the seat of power, but it's also one of America's most haunted homes. 15. Nile Nightmares, Haunted House. What if the haunted house you paid to enter was actually haunted? At Nile Nightmares in Mount Lake Terrace, Washington, the scares don't always end with the actors. Built on land whispered to be cursed, this terrifying attraction goes beyond staged horror. Staff have reported flickering lights, props that move on their own, and blood-curdling screams echoing through empty hallways, long after the guests have gone. Some say they've seen a dark figure standing motionless at the end of the maze, only to vanish when approached. Others have felt icy fingers brush their arms, or seen glowing eyes in the shadows, untouched by any spotlight. One former employee swears they were followed home by something that still knocks on their door at night. Nile Nightmares promises entertainment, but some guests leave with more than they bargained for. 16. Campbell House. In the heart of Spokane, the Campbell House stands frozen in time, its elegant rooms perfectly preserved, yet eerily lifeless. Built in 1898 for mining magnate Amasa B. Campbell, the mansion now serves as a museum. But something inside refuses to rest. Visitors report sudden drops in temperature, phantom footsteps echoing across hardwood floors, and the unsettling sensation of being watched from behind velvet curtains. Some claim to see a woman in period clothing peering from the upstairs window, only to vanish when they look again. Lights flicker with no explanation, and audio devices have captured whispers in empty rooms, as if someone, or something, is still trying to speak. Guides have refused to enter certain areas alone, especially the basement, where shadows move without light. The Campbell House preserves history, but also harbors a haunting presence that time couldn't bury. 17. Georgetown Morgue, Haunted House. In Seattle's industrial district lies a place where fiction and true horror intertwine, the infamous Georgetown Morgue. Once an active crematorium and morgue, its past is soaked in death, and something far more sinister. Legend speaks of a horrific unsolved tragedy, 9 morgue workers locked inside, never seen alive again. Today, it's a haunted house attraction, but those who work there swear the building remembers. Strange cold drafts sweep through sealed rooms, and visitors have reported hearing banging from within the cremation vaults. Shadows dart past corners with no source, and whispers call out names no one remembers. Actors have fled mid-shift after feeling hands grip them from behind, only to find no one there. The screams you hear inside might just be part of the show, or echoes of the ones who never made it out. Georgetown Morgue doesn't just play haunted, it is haunted. 18. Old Stone House. Nestled in Seattle's Pioneer Square, the Old Stone House looks like a forgotten piece of another era, but its silence hides something chilling. Built in 1853, it's the city's oldest building still standing, and perhaps its most haunted. Witnesses have seen a pale woman in tattered clothing drifting between rooms, vanishing into the stone walls. Objects move without touch, doors creak open with no wind, and sudden cold spots turn the air to ice. Some say the house was built on cursed land. Others whisper of lives lost in its early days, never properly laid to rest. Paranormal investigators have recorded voices pleading for help, footsteps pacing through sealed-off rooms, and the scent of burning wood, though no fire has touched it in decades. The Old Stone House isn't just a remnant of Seattle's past. It's a monument to the spirits who refuse to leave it behind. 19. Thornwood Castle. Rising like a Gothic dream from the shores of American Lake, Thornwood Castle in Lakewood, Washington, hides a dark elegance beneath its Tudor charm. Built in 1908 from bricks and stained glass imported from a 400-year-old English manor, the castle seems to carry the spirits of another time. Guests have whispered of a ghostly bride wandering the halls, her veil drifting silently behind her. Mirrors are said to distort reflections, showing not your face, but someone else's. Rooms grow inexplicably cold. Footsteps echo on stone floors when no one is near, and whispers rise from the garden at dusk, as if the grounds themselves are alive. Once used as a filming location for Stephen King's Rose Red, even Hollywood couldn't capture the full weight of its haunted past. Thornwood Castle doesn't just feel haunted, it embraces it. 20. Hotel Sorrento. In the heart of Seattle's First Hill, the elegant Hotel Sorrento has welcomed guests since 1909. But not all of them have checked out. Wrapped in vintage charm and moody lighting, this historic hotel holds a ghostly reputation. The spirit of Alice B. Toklas, a writer and longtime companion of Gertrude Stein, is said to roam the 7th floor. Guests have reported flickering lights, doors unlocking on their own, and a chilling presence in room 408. Staff whisper of phantom footsteps, glasses sliding off tables, and soft piano music playing from nowhere late at night. Mirrors fog up with no one near, and cold spots hover even during summer nights. Paranormal investigators say the energy here is intelligent, responding to questions with knocks and shifting temperatures. Hotel Sorrento may look like an upscale retreat, but it's also a place where the past lingers, just waiting for midnight. Still think it's just old legends and creaky floors? These haunted spots across Washington prove that the past never really dies. It just lingers. If you enjoyed the chills, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment which place gave you goosebumps. Until next time, keep the lights on.